It goes much faster than you'd anticipate it.
It does. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. We're broadcasting live from the 2013 Your Natural Baby Fair. We're talking with our expert, Carol Baggerly, about vitamin D. So I'm mentioning that if you have some questions about vitamin D, there's a comment box right below the live stream on the website. Feel free to put something in there, or Sonny's over there checking our Twitter accounts, and if you use the hashtag YNBF2013, we'll also see those because we're monitoring those hashtags as well. So we are here with New Mommy Media. As you guys know, we produce weekly podcasts with we have Preggy Pals, the Boob Group, and Parent Savers, which I'm the host of. And so we focus on episodes, if you're an expecting mom, if you're a first-time mom, if you're a new again mom, as I like to call it, or mom or dad, with kids up to about 3 or 4 years old. So that's kind of what our audience is. And here at the Natural Baby Fair, there's a lot of people that are interested in, learning about natural remedies. So I'm 39. I have 3 boys, 6, 4, and 1 year old. And this is Erin. She's joining us again as a panelist. Hi. And tell everyone about.
I'm 43, I think, and I have 1 boy. He's 18 months.
And I am X-age.
Yeah,
And my youngest child is 40.
Oh, wow.
And I've got 5.
Oh, wow. Nice. 5.
And they're all healthy.
That's great. So tell us a little, I guess, about vitamin D. You told me that you're one of the experts in the benefits of vitamin D, and we would love to hear more about that and tell it to our viewers, too.
I'm not sure I'm one of the experts, but I'm probably the world's biggest crusader.
Crusader, all right.
I'm a crusader. In terms of vitamin D and pregnancy, I am sure there are many, many, many supplements and things that are important. Folic acid, for instance, is extremely important.
Yeah.
Vitamin D is equally important, if not more so. And, for example, by women taking the standard recommended dose during pregnancy right now is all of 400 international units a day. By taking what they was shown to be both safe and effective during a randomized trial of 4,000 IU a day, which may sound strange to some people, they were able to reduce the incidence of preterm births by right at 50%. That is enormous.
Mm-hmm. And so that's
in terms of health for the child, for the mom, of course, but for the whole family for decades, the life of the child.
Yeah. And so that's 10 times more than what is being currently recommended?
Yes. The current recommendations are out of date.
Okay.
They are out of date.
Yeah.
And they are, I would say that they are harming people by not paying attention, which is why we're here and which is why we run. Our organization is Grassroots Health, and you can find that on the web. But our organization is dedicated to getting out the word about both the safety and the necessity for vitamin D, because there truly is a worldwide epidemic. More than 80% of the world's population is deficient. And it's not just bones. And I want to come back again to the whole pregnancy and early childhood thing.
Yeah.
Because there are very significant things that are found. A child of 5 has been shown to have a 50% less chance of language impairment and a neurocognitive disorder if prenatally the mom had enough vitamin D.
Wow.
I mean, This is how that flows through life.
That's massive.
Yeah.
Furthermore, there's even a study showing that girls by the age of 15, you can reasonably predict that woman's probability of having breast cancer when she gets to be 45.
Because of how much vitamin D she's had. That's
so
amazing.
we need it throughout life. It's not just during pregnancy, but if we can catch it during pregnancy, my point of view is that you've caught it and educated the mom so that she will protect herself for the rest of her life. Because it does have an impact on breast cancer, for example. You can reduce the incidence of breast cancer by 50%. By having enough vitamin D. The numbers are just there. You name it.
But it feels like, even in pregnancy, you're told folic acid.
Yes.
And here's a vitamin with folic acid in it. but not vitamin D.
Right.
So
it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
And we are launching at this very baby fair the very first Protect Our Children Now campaign to enroll, and we'll have many of these communities literally around the world of 500 women, pregnant women, and the call is for women in the 12 to 16 weeks because we'd like to get them early of pregnancy to get their serum levels up and take this 4,000 IU a day. And it's a 2-year project, but at the end of that 2 years, we intend to take these 500 women to march on City Hall and say, everybody's got to do it. I mean, we're very happy to help these women. But the current preterm birth rate around the country is a minimum of 10%. So that would mean that 10% of 500 births.
Yes, 50, right?
At least 25 of those wouldn't have to happen. Just think of that. It's just like it's appalling, and it's so short. But anyway, we're launching that project, and again, we're launching it really as a community action project. We're not launching it just as a good health project. We want these women to sign up for this and to participate and to know full well in advance that 2 years down the line when all the results are in, we're going to have a meeting. I'm serious.
You want more crusaders. You don't want just participants. You want crusaders.
We want more crusaders who can go to but that's why it's 500 in a community. We already have more than 10,000 participants in this project around the world. But it's around the world. And there are not enough of them in any area to really make a difference on their community. So this is our method of doing that.
Well, so let's backtrack a little bit. And I don't know how big an international unit is. So, for example, like, how much are we talking about? And also, vitamin D, where do we get it?
1,000 international units is 25 micrograms. It's a tiny
microgram. Okay, I still don't know micrograms, but I'm picturing small.
Very small.
Okay.
Very small.
And so do you offer them, and do you recommend supplements, or what are some sources where folks can get vitamin D?
First of all, we've got the problem because the body's primary source of vitamin D really is the sun.
Okay.
And about 200 years ago, we came indoors. Literally, we came indoors.
Yeah.
The number of outside workers has gone from 90% of the population to less than 1. So we are deficient and just barely beginning to recognize what being out of the sun has done to us. So the easiest methods for people truly are some kind of supplementation. It is not abundant enough in food in order to rely on food. And even fortified foods like milk, for example, is fortified with 100 international units.
Okay.
In
for
a
the
cup.
whole cup. Okay.
Well, it's 400 in a quart.
Yeah.
And a minimum-wise, you need 4,000 a day. That's 10 quarts of milk a day.
Right.
You're not going to do it.
Right.
So the fortification is under the control of the government. So that's not going to happen for a while.
Yeah.
So really the simplest and easiest way right now is either sunshine, some kind of lamps that emit that kind of ray.
Okay.
Or no, UVB rays. Okay. Generally they have to emit that.
Is that a marketing thing on light bulbs now, that they provide vitamin D?
Actually, they don't. No, it's more like tanning bulbs or something like that. It would be that kind of bulb.
So then how do you balance that with a lot of folks who talk about the dangers of too much sun, and the skin cancer?
There is far more danger to the deficiency than there is to the sun. Yeah. If people, and the data's there, if people take a look, and don't, with the sun, if you don't burn, I mean, burning is the issue.
Right.
If you stay away from burning, the sun is healthy for you, flat out, that's it. Yeah. The only thing that you might incur is after you get to a certain age, whatever that age is, in the scare kind of thing, there isn't the differentiation made that really needs to be made between the different kinds of skin cancer. If you're out in the sun a lot and you get to be 70, 80, who knows, and you may develop some scab-like things on your skin, which are either basal or squamous cell carcinoma. They can be burned off or cut off. They are not life-threatening. And they are as a result of life exposure. Yeah. So it's like a so what. The scary skin cancer is called melanoma.
Right.
But so far, they have shown zero correlation with that and the sun.
Really?
People who have tans, people who are outdoor workers, have less melanoma than indoor workers. All right? So, and people get melanoma in parts of their body which would never be exposed to the sun.
Interesting.
So I think that if you take the safe message, which is don't burn.
Right.
Don't burn. Burning is bad. Then the sun is good. But the other part that we run into is the time that you need to be out in the sun is between 10 and 2. And if you're not at a low enough latitude, like San Diego, like, for example, I was just in Canada, they could be out all day if they wanted to, and they would get no.
It really matters where you are geographically.
It matters where you are. It matters time of year and how much of your body is exposed and what your skin color is. Dark people have they have to spend much longer out in the sun.
So how do you know how much you're getting? Because, I mean, with the international units and the micrograms, but there's not a timer.
I'm really glad you asked that. What you need to measure is the end result of that exposure and or supplementation, which is your blood serum level. You really need to have a hydroxy vitamin D, or just call it a vitamin D test, a blood test, at least a couple of times a year to get started, to figure out where you are to start with. And then generally, let's stick with supplements a minute because they're easy. Take some supplement, generally at least 4,000, I would say 2,000 to 4,000 international units a day, and we have, Grassroots Health has some guides for that. And then test again 3 months later and see where you are. And if you've gotten to where you need to be, and there's the recommended serum level is between 40 and 60 nanograms per milliliter, or just 40 to 60. That's the recommended range. If you're there, fine. If you're not, then keep adjusting till you get there. But you've got to do a blood test.
Got it.
And the reason you have to do a blood test is because nobody responds the same way. For example, I think the simplest thing is, well, how many calories a day should I eat? Well, it depends upon how active you are, how your body metabolizes it, etc. My husband takes half as much vitamin D as I do. He's a bigger person, but to get to the same serum level, which is about 60 nanograms per milliliter, he has to take half as much as I do. So who knows?
That is interesting.
We don't know the answer to that yet.
So I have a question. So since I didn't take the vitamin D when I was pregnant, I had a problem taking even just regular prenatal vitamins. What area are you in? So what do I do now for my son? He's 18 months old. You know, we try and take him to the playground every day, and I'm still nursing. So how can I make sure that he's getting...
Oh, I love the question. How can you make sure your infant's getting enough? Well, they're back again to the two simple ways. Number one, if you are nursing, in order to get enough vitamin D coming through the breast milk, you need to be taking, and this was also part of the trial, 6,400 international units a day. If you're not, pump it up.
Got it.
And you need to remember to take it every day, not just once a week. That won't do. So that's step number one. That will give the child the equivalent of about 400 international units a day, which is recommended for infants. But the second way is there are products on the market that are liquid, and there's one product out of Canada called D-Drops that one little bitty drop is 400 IU. You could drop it on your nipple. You could drop it, any place you want. So it's not a tablet. It's not hard to swallow. And adults can use it too. So liquid forms are available.
Fabulous. That was my next question because, like I said, I have a very sensitive stomach, so pills don't...
I understand. Liquids are great.
Excellent. Thank you.
So are there dangers to getting too much vitamin D, though? Because you're talking
course, you can
a lot
drink
of...
too much water.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, but it's of that kind of thing. It is really hard to get too much. And our own study that we are running demonstrates how hard it is. The too much, what happens is that your blood becomes hypercalcemic. You get too much calcium in your blood.
Okay.
And then that causes all kinds of other problems. Right.
Got it.
And that can be tested and measured. But in order to do that, in terms of supplement dosage, people would have to be taking 30,000 international units a day for a prolonged period of time. Now, number one, that person is going to know they're taking a lot, right? and be doing it for a reason, or if not, they ought to be doing it for a reason, all right?
Yeah.
Or be under some kind of medical care. The only cases of real intoxication of vitamin D that have been recorded have been from industrial accidents, where, for example, the milk manufacturer dumps in 10 pounds instead of 10 ounces into the milk, right?
Yeah.
And there have been a number of reported industrial accidents like that.
Yeah.
But intoxication, it's really hard to do. So it's blown up.
Okay. Where do you get the blood tests? If you talk
I
about getting a
definitely
blood
want to
test.
encourage people to participate in our project.
Oh, nice. You're offering them.
Not free.
Yeah. No, but through...
No. Grassroots Health.
Yeah, through Grassroots Health. You can get them.
In the world.
Right.
That's where we have these 10,000 people participating in the project. It costs that... In order to test, there's a test kit sent to your home, and you drop a few drops of blood on
Just
a card.
like the finger?
Yeah, it's a finger prick.
Yeah.
And you get your vitamin D level,
and then you send it off. You send it back.
Send it back to us. And you also have to fill out a questionnaire because we're capturing all the data.
Right. And then you send it back to them in a printout, or you email it to them? Or?
They have created an account when they sign the thing, and so we send them an email saying
it's ready.
Test results are here, so then you can log back in and see what your results are. I encourage people to do that.
I'm very curious now.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, you should. I would really recommend that you have your vitamin D tested. But if you're not taking at least 6,400 IU a day, you can start that immediately.
And you can just go to the health food store and get this up. You can just go to the health.
In the United States, and believe it or not, it varies immensely by country. In Canada, again, where I just was, the maximum their government allows them to sell in any formulation is 1,000 IU things.
Oh.
In the United States, you can walk into Costco and buy a 10,000 IU capsules.
But you were saying in Canada they almost need it more, potentially.
They do.
Wonder what it's like in Mexico if you go across the border and you can get some vitamin D for a good deal.
It varies. It varies.
Right.
In some countries, you can't get it without a prescription.
It is really interesting.
That's surprising.
What about sunscreen? Were you talking like does sunscreen negate the effects of the vitamin D from being outside in the sun?
Sunscreen effectively effectively prevents the UVB rays and the UVA rays from penetrating your skin and getting any vitamin D.
Yeah.
Plus, many sunscreens have chemicals in them that are quite negative for the body. So the message is be out and be safe and don't burn, and then cover up just the really sensitive areas if you must by something like a zinc oxide or something which is just obnoxious looking probably, but keeps out the sun.
So as we wrap it up, we have a couple minutes left.
Sure.
How did you get started in this? What was the landscape 40 years ago? You said your youngest was 40. What was the landscape like
That's
then?
not when I got started.
Okay. What was the landscape like then with vitamin D? Or how did you really get involved in it?
With my children, I knew nothing about it. But the kids were all born in Texas, and they were outside a lot, and it was still in an era where kids played outside all the time. So I was fortunate that way. I got started in this about 7 years ago when I had breast cancer and was appalled at the treatment for breast cancer and how bad it is, and discovered that a research report written by Dr. Cedric Garland right here at the University of California, San Diego, showed that you could reduce the incidence of breast cancer by 50% just by getting your serum level up to that 50.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I mean, it's just kind of like
That's actually sickening.
Yeah.
I really find it sickening.
The real sickening part, he's been doing this research for 30 years. 30 years.
Wow.
And this is still now 7 years from when I got started in it, all right?
Yeah.
And there are breast cancer organizations, not individuals, that still won't listen. So something's got to happen.
Well,
I'm betting on the pregnant woman who cares about her child
I
and
think
her
you
life.
just recruited a new crusader.
Yep. And hopefully some more. So is the website Grassroots Health?
GrassrootsHealth.net.
All right, grassrootshealth.net. Make sure to check that out.
Please.
Thank you so much for joining us and being a part of this. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Erin, for being a part of this as well. Just as a reminder, for those of you viewing, if you guys would like to get memberships to any of our shows, Preggy Pals, the Boob Group, or Parent Savers, we're offering a deal for your Natural Baby Fair viewers. You, when you're going to purchase it, you put in YNBF 2013 in the box, and you'll get 50% off the membership. So it's a great deal. All right, we're going to keep the live broadcast rolling up next. I forgot to say what topic it is, but stick around. I forgot. Sage parenting advice. That's right. That's going to be interesting as well. Thanks so much for joining us, and thanks again, Carol.
Thank you very much.